as product managers, we have to come up with a lot of assumptions, and many a times we believe it's they are true, and simply assumptions are not true all the time. Many of the times, but we still do that. Junior product manager more so than senior, but still many of us falls into this fallacy. Unfortunately, what usually happens is when we confuse ourselves with the customer. And for example, if I am a product manager and if I do not face a particular problem, I would say that no, let's not build this feature because I do not face this problem, so my customers would not be facing the same problem. And this is not true. For example, I got a job in a VPN company, and at that time I was using VPN only to unblock Netflix. And it turns out when I joined the company that there are many different use cases of VPN. It's such a large industry, uh, and my assumptions got right. I mean, I really failed at that assumption that VPN is a small product and it would only cater to certain small market. Just because I was using VPN only for a specific use case. Same would apply for online payment method. I do every transaction online. So I hate dealing in cash. And if I am like building a product for Pakistani market, the first thing I would assume that yeah, let's integrate online payment methods because that's what I do all the time. But if I do not have the data, I would fail miserably because in Pakistani market, the user's first preferred method is cash on delivery. So I would really fail just because I base something on my personal experience. Uh, so that is why confusing yourself with customer can lead to failures, and many a time it still happens. Uh, so for example, this is me. I'm a product manager. I believe if I want something, rest of the world would want the same thing, but that would not be true in many cases because I belong to a certain demographic. I have different wants, needs, thinking style. While my customers belong to different parts of the world, they have different ages. They belong to different ages, gender. They have different needs. And if I am basing my personal experience and applying to a large group of people, uh, there's a highly likelihood that I would fail because the assumption based on my personal experience would obviously not hold true for large audience many a times. It might hold true obviously sometimes, but still, if you feel confident that this would really work, then I would suggest, based on my experience, that you should at least try considering or saying that it is my assumption. And I've built this habit that all the time, every time I've come up with an idea or something, I always say this is my assumption because I know that it might not hold true for many people. It does not mean that I have to use complex validation methods and I would always go and say that this is just an assumption and I would not go for execution. But that's not the point. The point is to train your mind and not fall into the fallacy that whatever you think, believe would be applicable to a large group of people. So the conclusion, or a mental model that I would say that we should all have, or at least the product managers, is do not just assume, validate. It could be a very easy, simple validation. You could just talk to your senior people in the company, and they could simply say whether this is true or not. Even using as simple a validation model as that, talking to senior people would suffice. But what is really critical here is to train yourself that whatever you are saying or believing or think is just an assumption. If you start from there, and your next response, your brain will automatically go for validation. If you follow this process, then there is a good chance that you would succeed. Your success ratio goes up as a product manager. So this is just something that I wanted to share. Hope it helps. Thank you for listening.